Hi guys, this is Tito Miles.
And this is Tita Josie, and welcome to the Tito Miles and Tita Josie First Anniversary Awards! Yay!
Yay! So thank you everyone for your support throughout the last 365 and one-fourth days of
Oh my
our
God.
channel. Congratulations, my friend Tita
Yes,
Josie.
congratulations, Tito
We have
Miles.
made it this far. And as of right now, I'm also very happy to share with you guys that we have around 2,921 subscribers. We
Yes.
love you all. Thank you so much for supporting us. We really, really, really appreciate it. And, offline, when Tita Josie and I talk about how our channel has grown in the last few months, we are so amazed. We
We
are so
are.
aside from being amazed, we're also so grateful that you guys entrusted us with your subscription. I mean, it's not a paid subscription and all, but
Yes.
the mere fact that you click the subscribe button means a lot to us. So thank you.
Absolutely. And the fact that they spend the precious time that they have to even consider watching our reactions, not only watch our reactions, but a lot of people leave
Yes.
comments. And the
Mhm.
comments are not short, Tito Miles. Like a lot of the comments we get sometimes, it seems like it's part of an essay writing contest, considering how
know.
long they are. So we really, really appreciate that you take the effort and that you not only appreciate our content, but you actually engage with us, and that really, really means the world to us.
Indeed. So that's why Tita Josie and I dressed up a little bit.
Yeah, just a little
For
bit.
a little bit for our anniversary. In fact, I appreciate this anniversary episode because I got to wear my blazer again.
Yes, I
After like
love that.
almost 2 years. And Tita Josie, right? Since we don't really go to the office anymore, we live for these moments
I
when we're
know.
kind of formal or semi-formal attire.
Absolutely. And just wanted to say thank you to everyone because we really work hard on our channel. And Tito Miles, can you believe? I think we've almost hit 400 videos. In fact, by the time that we release this episode, we might have already released 400 videos. And
Wow.
as you mentioned, at the time of filming, we have 2,900 subscribers. But by the time we release this special episode, we might have even already crossed 3,000. So I'm just so thankful for the community that has come out and has supported us all throughout this time. So thank you, thank you,
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
And as part of our thank you, that's why we're putting together the very first Tito Miles and Tita Josie First Anniversary Awards. And in this special episode, we will be picking our BL favorites, Tito Miles. And there are 5 categories that we put together, right?
Yes, our first one would be favorite supporting actor.
Our second would be favorite supporting actress.
Next, we have favorite song.
Of course, we have favorite actor.
And last but not least, we have, of course, favorite series.
Now, just to let everyone know, we are planning to also do a special episode at the end of the year where we will be picking our favorites from 2021 or from this year. That's why for this special first anniversary awards special, we'll only be picking series that premiered or that had episodes from 2020 and earlier, right? So, if the series that you like from 2021 is not featured as part of this special episode, you know why. It's because we're also going to do something at the end of the year, right?
Indeed. Thanks for clarifying that, Tita Josie. And for everyone's information as well, we deliberately chose the word favorite instead of the word best because we're only talking about our personal favorites, our own favorites, meaning Tita Josie's favorites, Tito Miles' favorites, and our personal favorites can be due to many reasons, like, of course, acting skills, or visuals, or presence, and of course, the it factor.
Absolutely. In fact, even Tito Miles and I have different preferences, right? Which is why we'll each be giving our own top 5 in each category before we select our ultimate favorite.
That is right, Tita Josie. And to everyone, please also note that we haven't seen every single series that got released.
No.
It's very difficult to do that. Like,
Yes.
we're so busy with work. So please be kind to us.
Yeah.
And, we apologize in advance if you don't see your favorite in our list. And hopefully, Tita Josie, right, this will encourage our viewers to share their list as well in the comment section. So
Yes.
please feel free to let us know your favorites as well. We'll be happy to see them. And if you decide to create your own video as well, please do tag us, and we'll be
Yes.
very, very happy to watch your favorites in your own video.
Absolutely. So without further ado, shall we head straight into it, Tito Miles?
Yes, I'm very excited. Oh my
Awesome.
God.
So we'll head straight into the very first Tito Miles and Tita Josie Anniversary Awards.
Yahoo! So, Tita Josie and everyone, our first category is Favorite Supporting Actor. A supporting actor is not the lead actor, of course. He's someone who could be a friend, a relative, a classmate, or even villain in the series.
Yes.
And there's a long list of those. I consider my favorites. I'm sure you have a long list as well, Tita Josie. And it
Yes.
was so, so hard to choose my top 5.
Absolutely. And because there are so many different supporting actors that support the series, it's very, very difficult to narrow down just a list of top 5 people who we consider as our favorites. But we were able to do that, right, Tita Miles?
Yes, we were able to. It was a long and hard process. I
Yes.
mean, it's really hard, seriously. And I guess it's time. So I'm going to start off in alphabetical order, Tita Josie. Here are my top 5 favorite supporting actors. First up, we have Venezuela.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm in the wrong show. Sorry.
I think we're in the wrong award show, Tito
So
Miles.
sorry, this is not Miss Universe. So sorry. Okay, so back to regular programming. My first favorite supporting actor is Boat Napat as Champ in Tarn Type. His portrayal of Boat as a supporting actor was cute and adorable whenever he's on screen. Even if he had less lines to say, he always manages to capture my attention. And his presence alone makes me happy, and I was so stoked that his character was given even more importance in Tarn Type Season 2 because he's a great actor and he deserves it. My second favorite is Mek Jirakit as Tada in Dark Blue Kiss. This is another guy whose on-screen presence is so strong and overflowing that he sometimes, to me, steals the scene. I know he was relegated to a supporting role because Kao and Pete took the spotlight in Dark Blue Kiss, but his presence cannot be denied. So that's why Mek Jirakit is one of my favorites. My next favorite is Migs Almendras, who was Junjun in Hello Stranger. His portrayal of Junjun in Hello Stranger left a lasting impression with me because he made the part his own. Everyone's just in love with Mig's character. I'm so in love with his character because he gave Junjun so much life and credibility, and I feel like no one else could portray Junjun better than Migs Almendras. That's why he's one of my favorites. My next favorite is Pod Supacorn as Sun in Dark Blue Kiss. He's tall and gorgeous, and he's the perfect semi-antagonist with his character Sun because of his subtle acting, which was to me very effective. He was not over the top, his eyes did a lot of talking, and I could tell that his acting skills would take him places, which actually happened when he got his chance to be the lead of Don Hon Chondati. And last but not least, in my favorite actors is Tim Hwang as Spin Jun in Dark Blue and Moonlight. Tim Hwang's acting was superb. He demonstrated depth and skill in portraying a complex character like Pin Jun, which I believe is the reason why I wasn't that satisfied with the ending of Dark Blue and Moonlight. Tim Huang was so effective that I wanted Pinjun to end up with Hai Ching instead of Yan Fei. And because of that, I totally love Tim Huang. So, Tita Josie, those are my favorite supporting actors. And of course, I'm
Nice.
excited, and everyone is also excited to find out who your favorite supporting actors are. Take it away.
Well, first of all, I love your list, Tito Miles, and I love the fact that we're able to pick 5 more because I think that my actors or my favorite supporting actors that I chose are a little bit different from yours. So we're going to be
Yes.
able to hopefully show everyone that we have a diverse group of actors who we love.
True. And did you like my pick, Venezuela?
Yes, the
Right.
best supporting actor, Tito Miles. And yeah, so now my list is as follows. My top 5 favorite supporting actors
Yay.
are first, Asaka Kodai as Tsuge Masato in Cherry Magic. Like Adachi, Tsuge was also a 30-year-old virgin, and Asaka Kodai played him to perfection. His portrayal was just the right amount of over the top for me. I couldn't help rooting for him as he tried to pursue Minato, even if the way he did so made me laugh out loud sometimes. I really loved Tsuge as he was portrayed by Asaka Kodai. My second favorite is Kunpol Pongpol as Bass in I Told Sunset About You. Let's be honest, more people ship with Bass than they did with Te, and rightfully so, I believe. Bass was the perfect boyfriend for Ail, but he was an even better friend to the point that he brought Ail to Te's home when he knew that Ail wanted to comfort Te. Kunpol's portrayal of Bass was subtle and sublime, and for that, he is one of my favorites. Third, also again in alphabetical order, is Kokyang Panrinya as Tar in Tarntype. I would understand if people overlook Tar in Tarntype as his character on the surface was Type's rival for Tarn's love. However, we did eventually find out that he had a very sad story, being a gang rape survivor. And Kokyang had so many uncomfortable scenes to portray as Tar, and he did so with dignity and class, which is so not easy to do. So I think he really should be recognized for the role that he played. Next is Kyle Villino as Terrence in Game Boys. It is not easy to get the audience to love you when you start off as a villain in the series, just like how Terrence did. However, that's exactly what Kyle was able to do as his portrayal of Terrence showed us. His character arc showed us that he was able to transform from being a villain to becoming a lonely man who eventually found love. And in the process of doing so, the entire audience of Game Boys fell in love with him. Last but not the least, we have Ron Angeles as Olan in Benex's Gym. Olan is one of the most beloved second leads in Philippine BL. So much so that if you remember Tito Miles, the fans were actually petitioning to change the name of the series from Benex's Gym to Benex's Olan. He fought for Ben's love without being pushy, without being forceful, and he actually had a surprising tandem with Yana, which saw them become best friends after they had both become rejected by Ben and Jin. And I really love Olan. So Tito Miles, those are our top 5 each for our favorite supporting actors. And I'm so excited to find out who your favorite supporting actor is.
My gosh, Tita Josie. So we definitely had a very diverse set of favorite
Yes.
or, nominees but most appropriately favorites. And I'm excited to share who my favorite is. And without further ado, drum roll please.
Yes!
Tito Miles, favorite supporting actor for our very first anniversary awards is Tim Huang as Pin Jun in Dark Blue and Moonlight.
Yay! Oh my god, I love that. I love that choice. Tell us why you chose him.
I chose Tim Huang because of the way that he portrayed his character. Again, I really wanted him meaning Pinjun and Haiching, to end up together in the end. But that was not how the story was written. But the way that Pinjun or Tim Hwang acted out was so effective. It was so convincing that I was definitely on board with his and Haiching's ship. So that's why I love Tim Hwang as an actor, and that's why he's my favorite actor for 2020.
Awesome.
And that's my winner, Tita Josie. I'm sure we're very excited also to find out who your favorite actor or supporting actor is. Who will it be?
So everyone, Tita Josie's favorite supporting actor for our first anniversary awards is Ron Angeles as Alan in Bennett's Gym.
Okay, wait, Tita Josie. I think it's a no-brainer.
I mean,
I think I know why you chose Olan as your favorite supporting actor, but please tell us why.
if you've watched our reactions to BXJ Forever, I think in one of the episodes, I actually referred to myself as Mrs. Ron Angeles. And I freaking love Ron Angeles as well as Olan. Like the way that he portrayed that balance of being a second lead who wasn't being pushy, but just really was, you know, he was a working class character, but still was very, very intelligent. The way that he was trying to show his love for Ben, but not in a forceful manner. And also the fact that you could tell he really was just an amazing, amazing friend, really made me fall in love with him. So, my dear husband, that is why I chose you as my favorite supporting actor.
Love, love, love. Congratulations to
Yes.
Olan or to Ron Angeles.
Yes.
And of course, to Tim Hwang, if you guys are watching.
Yes. I don't know if they're going to watch, but if
Hugs.
you do, we love you. We love you.
We love you.
Absolutely. So, shall we move on to the next category, Tito Miles?
Yes, let's proceed. So, Tita Josie, our next category is Favorite Supporting Actress. Supporting actresses, just like supporting actors, could be a friend, a relative, a classmate, or even villain. Someone who has a strong, commanding, and enjoyable presence. That's why we love her. And Tita Josie, every BL won't be complete without a lady, right? Could be a friend, could be a relative, as I said, and that's what makes our BL stories really fun, of course.
Absolutely. Because the LGBTQ plus community obviously is not separated from the rest of society. So that's why we really need to have our female friends, our female allies, and female family members to support us always.
Support and represent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and share my favorite supporting actresses. The first one is, in alphabetical order, Adriana So as Pearl in Game Boys. For me, Adriana's acting skills made Pearl so famous because she is very effective at making us feel Pearl's support for Cairo and Gabriel. And aside from being a gorgeous woman, Adriana has a fantastic, commanding presence, and she delivered Pearl's lines so incredibly well that by the time Game Boys was over, she booked herself the lead role in Pearl Next Door. My second favorite supporting actress, again in alphabetical order, is Adrian Vergara as Ate Judith in Gaya sa Pelikula. Adrian's portrayal of Ate Judith was so effective that Ate Judith became another gay icon. I think she's very smart and quick-witted, and I think that the reason why Ate Judith became a gay household name is that Adrian breathed so much authenticity to Ate Judith's character, and for that, she's one of my favorite supporting actresses. My third favorite supporting actress is Barbie Imperial as Krisha in Omando. Barbie is a mainstream actress that I was delightfully surprised to see having joined a series like Omando, and she definitely delivered. I could really tell her superior acting skills by the way she delivered her lines, even her nonverbals, of course, and she's a true rising actress of her generation. Next, I have Jan Ploy Shampoo as Miriam in Tonhon Chonlati. She was delightfully funny and naughty as Miriam in Tonhon Chonlati. She made me annoyed, she irritated me, and by the middle of Tonhon, I was in love with Miriam's craziness and support for her friends. No wonder she's kind of a mainstay in BLs, and characters like that of Miriam fit her well. Last but not least, among my favorite supporting actresses is Meng Mom Tanshi as Yiwa in Together with Me. Yiwa is one of my favorite Lady BL characters, and I believe Meng gave Yiwa so much life and emotion that, in fact, Meng became one of my girl crushes. Oh, Meng is also gorgeous, and she can also sizzle on screen when she wants to, and I totally love this actress. So that has been my list, Tita
Oh
Josie.
my
I'm excited
God.
to find out who your supporting actresses are.
Well, I just want to say that I really love your list. They're so non toxic to begin with, which everybody loves whenever we have non toxic female characters. And they're very strong. They really played strong characters. So I really love your list. And I'm so happy to be sharing with everybody my list, also in alphabetical order, of my favorite supporting actresses. First up, just like Tito Miles, I have Adriana So as Pearl in Game Boys. Pearl, to put it simply and accurately, is a queen, the queen. She is the bestest friend of all best friends, the greatest shipper among all the shippers, and any gay boy would be so lucky to have her in their life. Adriana was so beloved as Pearl that she starred in her own spin-off GL or Girls Love series, Pearl Next Door, as Tito Miles mentioned, and she has a movie coming up as well, so we're so eagerly awaiting for that. Second, just like Tito Miles, Adrienne Vergara as Ati Judith in Gaya sa Pelikula. Adrienne's portrayal of Ati Judith was so convincingly loving and funny that it actually took people a long time before they realized that she was an imperfect ally. She could deliver both witty and emotional lines with equal aplomb, and she convinced all of us in the LGBTQ plus community that we are all valid. Third, I have Jan Ploy Shampoo as Miriam in Tonhon Chonlati. Miriam's role in Tonhon Chonlati was perhaps not meant to be more than comic relief, but it is testament to Jan's acting that she is probably one of the most memorable characters in the series. If you are not rolling on the floor laughing after hearing one of her punchlines, you really should get yourself checked. I next have Koi Tarika as Antika in Until We Meet Again. BLs often try to portray how families should support their LGBTQ plus children, and no one showed that better than Koi Tarika as Grandma Antika in Until We Meet Again. If you had watched our reactions to Until We Meet Again, you would know that Tito Miles and I would just be bawling and just crying, ugly crying, whenever Antika or Koi Tarika would have a scene, particularly in the scene when she realized that the characters, her grandson, Farm, and then her grandson Dean and then Farm were the reincarnations of her beloved brother and his lover who had committed suicide. And I really will always keep those scenes with Antika in my heart. Last but not the least, Smile Parada as Tarn in I Told Sunset About You. It would perhaps have been easier if Smile portrayed Tarn in I Told Sunset About You as a toxic female, as that might have been expected, or that is unfortunately what people tend to see when BLs have female characters, but Smile did not portray Tarn in that way. In fact, Tarn was an absolutely mature individual considering how young she was. And in fact, she was probably Tez's biggest support system. And for that, I think the way that Smile portrayed Tarn really showed us the way as to how BLs can effectively show a female character without it being toxic in a BL. So Tito Miles, that was my list of my top 5 favorite supporting actresses, and I am so excited to find out who you selected as your most favorite supporting actress for our first anniversary awards.
Yes, Tita Josie, and I'm also very happy to know that we have a few overlaps, which is amazing. Love, love, love. And without further ado, I'm going to let everyone know who my favorite supporting actress is in our first anniversary awards. Drum roll, please. And my favorite supporting actress is none other than Adriana So as Pearl in Game Boys. Congratulations for being Tito Miles' favorite, Adriana.
That's awesome. Why did you select her?
Well, you know what? As you mentioned, Tita Josie, she's a queen, whether she's portraying Pearl or she's just being herself. And we've seen Adriana in a lot of like behind the scenes videos, right? And I've also seen a few of her other works. And I can say that this woman, she is really professional. She's really good at what she does. And I think she will go a long, long, long way in the industry because of the way that she portrays the characters that are given to her. So congratulations to Adriana. Yeah.
And because so many people love her.
So many people love her. She is definitely amazing. And I would say, Tita Josie, she's one to watch. So don't be surprised if she gets an acting award in the near future, right?
Absolutely.
So that's been my favorite supporting actress. And of course, we're also eager to find out who your favorite supporting actress is. So over to you, Tita Josie.
Yeah, so my favorite supporting actress for our first anniversary awards is Koi Tarika as Antika in Until We Meet Again.
Wow, amazing. I still remember us reacting to Until We Meet Again, like probably 3 or 4 weeks back, Tita Josie. But do let us know why you chose Antika.
I think it's very, very important for a BL series to show how family members should support people who are trying to come out, or how they should support their family members when they're trying to come out or when they are part of the LGBTQ community. And like I said, nobody did it better than Antika. So I really, really loved her portrayal. It is impossible to watch any of Antika's scenes or any of Puerto Rico's scenes in Until We Meet Again without ugly crying, and that is why I selected her as my favorite supporting actress.
Yay! So congratulations to Adriana and to, I forget her name, but congratulations Puerto Rica for being our favorite supporting actresses. And if you guys are watching, hugs.
Yay! Love you guys.
We love you. We love you. All right, Tita Josie. And moving on, our next category is favorite song. So, for everyone, and of course, Tita Josie, any BL series will not be complete as well without songs or OSTs, as we call them, right? That evoke the emotions that the show wanted to convey. And as we know, also, music is a universal language, and no matter what language the song was written or sung in, music can really get us in a certain mood, which is why we chose to have this particular category in our favorites.
Absolutely. And sometimes our favorite scenes become very, very memorable because of the songs that they play in those scenes. And as much as possible, we did try to pick songs that were written specifically for the series, if we are aware that it was written specifically for the series. And music, as you mentioned, Tita Miles, is really one of the languages of the heart. So that's why we wanted to include this category.
Indeed, Tita Josie. How can I forget the way that you cry whenever Boy Song Pop's song gets played
Yes.
in those emotional scenes in Until We Meet Again, right?
Yes.
My goodness. So,
Spoiler alert, guess who's one of my
spoiler.
nominees?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I spoiled a little bit, but I think it's kind of expected
I think it's
already, right?
expected.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So let me go ahead and share my favorite songs. The first on my list, which is in alphabetical order, of course, is Can't Refuse to Grow Up, which is a song that was played in Dark Blue and Moonlight as sung by Max Lin. For me, this song, even if in a language I cannot understand or most of us don't understand, which is Mandarin, it's very thought provoking and it's a mood changer. And whenever I play it on Spotify, I remember the journey of Hang Chin, Faye, and of course my favorite, supporting actor Tim Wang. My next favorite song is Fake Protagonist by Getsunova for Theory of Love. I love how modern and romantic this song is. It gives me the feels. And it has a Thai version, which is the original language, of course, that it was sung. And it has an English version too. More than the message of the song, I like how it reminds me of the beautiful love story of Kai and Third. It makes me so emotional. Next on my alphabetical list is Hold Me Tight for Tarn Type as sung by Off Chainon. And this is a very beautiful song. It's so dramatic and emotional, and it made me cry so much while watching Tarn Type. The message of the song is so beautiful about eternal love, and I even tried to cover it, Tita Josie, as you know. So when I'm in the mood for some Tarn Type love, I would always play this in my Spotify. Number 4 in my alphabetical list is Kangu, which is the theme song of Together the series as sung by Bright Vachirawit. This song also gives me a lot of feels and it makes me kilig because I remember Sarawat and Tyne's love story. It gives me good vibes as well and I love it so much that I also covered it. Such a beautiful song. And last but not least is San Sinukuban by Carl Zarate for Quarantines. I love Carl Zarate's voice and I love how this song gave me goosebumps. It's perfect for moments when we're so in love and we want to amplify our emotions, just like what happened in Quarantines. And at the same time, it has so much drama and the lines are so beautiful and romantic. So that has been my list, Tita Josie, of my favorite songs.
Absolutely. And I really love your list, Tito Miles, because as we mentioned earlier, and as you said in your intro, music really is able to transcend the language barriers, right? So wonderful, wonderful selections.
Exactly. And as you know, Tita Josie, I am not the only one who has favorites, so I also want to hear from you who or what your favorite songs are. So take it away.
Absolutely. So, Tito Miles, my top 5 favorite songs are the first song in alphabetical order is Ikaw Na Nga from Omando, sung by Andrew Florentino. This is the song that plays in the background when Mando sees Barry coming out of the swimming pool in his tight Speedos. It has such a chill sound, and I remember that when this first came out in the series, I tried so hard to find it on Spotify, on YouTube. I couldn't find it anywhere. And when they finally released the song on Spotify, I think around 3 months after the series had premiered, I was so excited because I really, really wanted to hear the full version. And until this day, it really is one of the songs that I have on repeat on my playlist. And it really has a special meaning in the series because, again, it's very chill sound and it's so effortless, kind of like how the relationship between Mando and Barry ended up being. The second song on my list of favorite songs is Looking at You from Where Your Eyes Linger by the artist Rooney, or R-U-N-Y. When Taeju finally comes back after years of being away from Kanguk, they sit in front of a lake. Kanguk is not aware that Taeju is there, but then all of a sudden Taeju stands up And then he asks Kanguk why he's trying to run away and go off to Japan. Kanguk is so surprised. He's so happy that Taeju has finally come back, and then they have this beautiful, sweet kiss. And this is the song playing in the background. I am unable to this day to listen to this song without crying. And it is honestly one of the first Korean songs that I really made an effort to learn the lyrics of. The third song on my list is Sansino Huban from Foreign Things by the artist Carl Zarate, who also plays Beshi in Foreign Things. The lyrics of this theme song to Foreign Things talk about Rocky and Judah having their own universe together in the place where they were quarantined. And not only that, but it also talks about how Rocky and Judah view each other as being each other's universe. And it's so romantic, it's so sweet. And I especially love the a cappella version of this song. And in fact, Tito Miles also came up with his own rendition of the song, and it is one of my favorite covers. No list of favorite songs of mine from BLs would be complete without including Skyline from I Told Sunset About You by the artists Bilkin and PP Crit, who also play Te and Ael. The lyrics of Skyline describe how the protagonist is willing to overcome all of the most impossible obstacles to be together with the one he loves. However, if they are not destined to be together, then what is he supposed to do? I particularly love the Chinese version of this song because it is so subtle, it is so raw in the way that it is produced, and also because, as we know, Tess spent a lot of effort and a lot of time trying to help Ael improve on his Chinese. It is such a beautiful song, and I particularly like the way that it was used in the scene where after they had run what seemed like a marathon around Phuket, they were at the top of the hill and they were watching the sunset together. And I can't watch that scene without crying. The last song on my list, as Tito Miles kind of spoiled earlier, is the theme song to Until We Meet Again from Until We Meet Again by Boy Sompub. Anyone who has watched Until We Meet Again knows that when the a cappella version of the song plays, it's your signal that you're about to start ugly crying. Every single scene where this song plays is a dramatic scene, and in fact, the very first scene where we hear this, particularly in its a cappella form, is in episode 1, part 1, when Korn and In decide to end their lives because they are not accepted by their fathers. And I love this song to death. And that is not a pun on the theme of Until We Meet Again. I really, really, really just love this song. And those are my top 5 favorite songs, Tito Miles.
Wow, another diverse list. I'm so happy to find out what your favorite songs are. And I think it is time for us to reveal which ones made it to the top of our list.
Yes.
So let me begin with mine, Tita Josie. Without further ado, another drum roll, please.
Yes.
My favorite song for our very first anniversary awards is Tandararan, Can't Refuse to Grow Up, Dark Blue and Moonlight, as sung by Max Lin.
Yay! I love that. Why did you select the song, Tito Miles?
Well, particularly for the message of the song, which is, of course, all about unrequited love and
Yes.
growing up to love someone. You know, it's a process, basically. But most importantly for me, Tita Josie, when I pick a favorite song, it's not necessarily like how it makes me feel in certain scenes, but this one was usually played rather, in the closing credits. Can you believe that? So
Yes.
I have a lot of like emotions watching the closing credits and also the preview, and I just love this song so much. In fact, I started liking it even if I didn't understand at first what it meant. So it was all about the melody and the kind of feels that it gave me. So I love this song and I recommend for everyone to listen to it in case you have not. It's already on, our favorite music streaming apps. So that was my favorite song, Tita Josie. And
Yes.
I am excited to find out, we're excited to find out what your favorite song is. Take it away.
Absolutely. So my favorite song for our first anniversary awards is Skyline from I Told Sunset About You as performed by Bilkin and PP Crit.
Yay! Wow, I still remember. I also love that song. And please tell us why it's your favorite song.
Well, I don't think it's a surprise to the Miles because I think I told you I have so much difficulty listening to the song without crying,
Yeah.
especially the Chinese version of the song as sung by PB Crit. If
Mm-hmm.
you listen to it on Spotify, the production is so sparse. It's just a violin, a piano, I think, and some, I think, Chinese instruments. It's very, very subtle, very raw, very emotional, and the way that PP Crit sings it is so emotional as well. And when I see it in the series, every time I rewatch I Told Sense About You, I just can't help myself. Like the tears fall. It's almost like a Pavlovian response. Like as soon as I hear it, the tears just start falling. Like I can't listen to the song without crying.
Love it. So my goodness. Again, thank you for letting us know your favorite song. And I don't know, who should we congratulate? Is it the production house or the singers? Okay, probably
All
the
of
singers.
them. All of
All
them.
of them. Congratulations.
Yes.
P Crit and PP, of course, and Crit. And Max Lynn for bringing us
Yes.
this beautiful, beautiful songs. So, Tita Josie, moving on, our next category is favorite actor. As we know, Tita Josie, actors are the life of the show, of course. And just
Yes.
like the rest of the cast in a series, actors take us on a roller coaster ride from happiness to tears, and we end up supporting them even after watching their series, right?
Yes.
So I truly love the diversity of the actors from the series that we have played from 2020 and earlier. And I love how they charm us with their acting skills and to some extent, fan service even after the show has done filming.
Absolutely. And you know what? The role of an actor, particularly if you're a lead actor for a BL series, is very, very important because whether you like it or not, you are representing the LGBTQ plus community. So they really have to do so in such a way that the audience is able to relate to them and understand what they're going through. And that's not an easy task. So before we even share who our list of favorites are, I just really want to appreciate anyone who takes on that role of
Yes,
portraying an LGBTQ plus character in any series.
indeed. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. So, Tita Josie, let me go ahead and start sharing my favorite actors in alphabetical order, of course. Starting with Golf Kanawut as Type in Tarn Type. He's one of my favorites because of his impactful portrayal of Type. When he's moody, I feel it. When he's upset, I feel it. And most importantly, he sizzles on screen during those hot moments with new Supasit or Tarn. I love how Golf was able to transition from a newbie or a rookie actor to someone who's become like a giant in the BL industry. A lot of actors look up to him, and I believe right now he's enjoying a lot of success in his career. So, Golf Kanawut, you're one of my favorite actors. Next, on my favorite actors list in alphabetical order is JC Alcantara as Miko in Hello Stranger. Now, JC Alcantara is actually my favorite Pinoy BL actor of 2020 and possibly for a long time because he can really act. His tears move me, he has a magnetic appeal, and for me, he's the perfect Miko because of his acting skills, and it's a plus that he knows how to take care of his fans. Next on my alphabetical list is Chris Perawat as Artit in Sotus and Sotus S. He is my favorite not only because Sotus is my first BL series, but his portrayal of Piartit was amazing. His eyes do the talking, and his gay panic moments in the series always get to me. Next is New Titipum as Cow in Dark Blue Kiss. New is one of my favorites because I like the way he portrayed Kao in Dark Blue Kiss, where I felt his depth and sensitivity, and not to mention that he's extremely gorgeous. Last but not least, I have Om Pawat as Tan in He's Coming to Me. He's my favorite not only because he's lean and gorgeous, but when he cries, I cry. And I totally agree with the award giving bodies. He deserves every acting award because he's an amazing actor. So that was short and sweet, Tita Josie. That's been my list of favorite actors.
I love it. I love your list,
Yes.
Tito Mar. Such a diverse list. And they also had very different roles as well. Like some of them maybe a little bit more comedic, some more dramatic. And that really shows that there's a lot of different portrayals of characters that you can have in BL series.
Indeed. And as you said, these guys have been representing their shows and the LGBT community with such pride and dignity. And congratulations to all of them. And also, those who didn't make it to my list and to your list, they also did an amazing job. So thank you to everyone. And with that, Tita Josie, let's go ahead and find out who your favorite actors are.
Absolutely. So my top 5 favorite actors are, first up, Akaso Eiji as Adachi Kiyoshi in Cherry Magic. Akaso Eiji as Adachi in Cherry Magic was so freaking adorable and so lovable. He was such a quirky character, or at least that's how Eiji portrayed him. And it was such a different contrast to Kurosawa's put together charm. And I really like it when quirky characters have to go through this journey of coming out of their shell and being more confident. And I love it when socially awkward characters have to find their way in the world. And it's not easy to do that. So Akaso Eiji really did that perfectly, pitch perfectly, as he did when he was portraying the character of Adachi. My second favorite actor, again in alphabetical order, is Bilkin Putipong as Te in I Told Sunset About You. The character of Te was so emotional because he was going through a process of discovering himself. He was an indecisive teenager, discovering who he was, and a lot of people, to be honest, were irritated with him, just like Tito Miles was when he first watched the series. However, I really related to him because of the way that Bilkin portrayed him. Even though he was confused, even though he was not making all of the right decisions, I always had the most amount of empathy for Te, which is why I selected Bilkin as one of my favorite actors, because I think he did an amazing job of portraying the emotional turmoil that Te is going through. Third is Fluke Natach as Farm in Until We Meet Again. I am so impressed with the way that Fluke portrayed Farm in Until We Meet Again, because even though for the most part he is primarily known for saying Pidin over 250 times throughout the series, but he did actually portray the character with so much gentleness, with so much subtlety, and yet he had so many complex, dramatic scenes that were very heavy, and he was able to do so in such a way that you couldn't help but want to protect him, and you couldn't help but fall in love with him. I'll never forget the scenes where Farm had his panic attacks, or when he had those flashbacks, and all of a sudden, he forgot what he was doing, and you could really tell that as an actor, Fluke really had to give it his all. And for that, no list of my favorite actors would be complete without Fluke. Fourth on my list is Jake Su as Meng Xiaofei in History 3 Trapped. Meng Xiaofei was a thorn in Tang Yi's side before they became a couple. He was so annoying. He was so persistent. He was so stubborn. And yet, by the end of the series, who could not help but fall in love with Meng Xiaofei, including Tang Yi? The way that he delivered his lines was, yes, annoying, but at the same time, there was always this touch of comic delivery. And he made me laugh so much throughout the series. And I am really, really excited for the day when Tito Miles agrees to react to History 3 Trapped again with me. Last but not the least, this list would not be complete without PP Crit as Oeo in I Told Sunset About You. As contrasted with Bilkin's emotional and perhaps a little bit over the top portrayal of Tae, PP Crit's portrayal of Oeo was nothing but sublime and so subtle and so gentle as well. I don't think anyone is going to forget that iconic scene where Oeo put on that red bra because he thought that Tae wanted someone who was more feminine. He thought that Tae could not love anyone else other than a girl. So Oeo was so in love with Tae that he wanted to give it a try, but he couldn't do it, of course, and he started to break down. After that scene, and from that moment onwards, everybody, the entire audience would be on Oeo's side. And that's why I love PP Crit's portrayal of Oeo in I Told Sunset About You. And that's my complete list, Tito Miles, of my favorite actors from the series that I have watched.
Love it. Amazing. So with that, Tita Josie, I think it's time for us to reveal our favorite actors for 2020 and earlier, just to
Yes.
clarify. And for me, I'm going to say my favorite in a few seconds. So drum roll,
Yes.
please. Yes. So Tito Miles' favorite actor for our first anniversary awards is none other than Chris Perawat as Artit in Sotus and Sotus
Oh my
S.
god. This series, Tito Miles, was from 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So he is one of the OGs, one of the
Yeah.
original
Original.
BL actors.
Indeed, Tita Josie. So even if Sotus or Sotus S are kind of like older as compared to the ones that we have been watching very recently, it still holds a special place in my heart. And the fact that it holds a special place in my heart, I also love the actors that are in it. Most importantly, Mr. Chris Perawat. I'm such a big fan of him. The moment I laid eyes on him and his character, the way that he portrayed his character was so adorable, and I was a little bit annoyed by him every now and then, but through it all, I totally loved Chris Perawat as an actor. I totally love him, and I'm so glad that I'm able to share his name as my favorite, because I don't know, in 2021 he doesn't have a lot of projects, or I haven't seen any BL of his in 2021. So I'm such a big fan, and
Yes.
congratulations, Mr. Chris Perawat, for making it as my favorite actor. Now, I think we're gonna have a very different winner from Tita Josie. So without
Yes.
further ado, who is your favorite actor?
Yes, Tito Miles. So Tita Josie's favorite actor for our first anniversary awards is... My favorite actor is Fluke Natach as Farm and Until We Meet Again.
Wow. I'm sure it was a close fight, Tita
It
Josie.
was. Are you surprised that I didn't pick one of the I Told Sunset About You boys?
I'm quite surprised, actually.
I'm
was
actually
expecting-
surprised myself.
Exactly. Are you sure you went through the list again to make sure
I
you picked the right
did.
one?
I did. And you know why I selected Fluke, even though actually all of these, whether it was AG as Adachi or even Jake Su as Meng Xiaofei in History 3 Trap, it was really hard for me to pick because, as we know, or as we mentioned earlier, that's why we didn't call this category Best Actor.
Yes.
Because there really is no best. Like, nobody else could have played their characters. However, the reason why I ended up going with Fluke Touch is because you know that I love heavy drama Tito Miles. And really the way that Fluke navigated from the light moments and from the gay panic moments that he had whenever he was interacting as Farm with Pideen and Pideen all over again. He had these so technically challenging moments where he had to portray that he was having a panic attack.
Yes.
He even had to portray a scene towards the end where he wanted to commit suicide as well. And those are not easy scenes to navigate, right? So I really had to give this to Fluke because he was freaking amazing. And until we meet again.
I totally agree. So congratulations to Chris Perawat, my favorite actor, and to Fluke Natach, your favorite actor.
Yes,
Yay.
absolutely. And so, Tito Miles, that only leaves us with one more category. And I think that this is the one that everyone is waiting for. They're waiting to find out, which is our favorite series in our first anniversary awards.
I know, right, Tita Josie? And I'm a little bit anxious with sharing my
Yes.
list. But again, let's clarify a couple of things. These are our favorites, okay? They're not
Yes.
necessarily the best of the best, you know? And there are reasons why a series can be your favorite. And as you said, this category is favorite series. And what can I say? When you say favorite series, it's all about the overall effect of the
Yes.
series on you. What theme did it tackle? What kind of story did that
Yes.
particular BL series tell? And how engaging was it? What kind of feels did you feel? So it's a combination of everything from the
Yes.
cast to the music to the cinematography to the production value. That's what makes a favorite BL series for me. And I'm so
Absolutely.
excited to share my list.
Absolutely. And just like with love, right? Sometimes you don't know why you love someone. It just happens. And as you fall in love with people, so do people fall in love with BL series. And just like Tita Miles, I'm very excited to share my list as well.
That is right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about our favorite series. So for me, Tito Miles, my favorite series in alphabetical order are as follows, starting with Dark Blue and Moonlight. This is my very first Taiwanese BL, and I was so pleasantly surprised at the writing, cinematography, and the entire cast was amazing. I liked it even if I didn't like the ending, which says a lot because I'm the type of person who likes happy endings. Dark Blue and Moonlight is also my favorite because of its theme, character development, and song. Next on my list is Dark Blue Kiss. Coincidentally, here's another one with the words dark and blue in the title. And after the first episode of Dark Blue Kiss, I was totally hooked. I like how the enemies trope was explored here, and it helped that Tae and New are also among my favorite actors, so Dark Blue Kiss was always a pleasure to watch. I was so in love with the story that I think I finished the entire series within 1 week, which is already very fast for Tito Miles standards. Third on my alphabetical list is Hello Stranger. I love Hello Stranger because of all the feels it made me feel. Even if the setting was limited because it was filmed during the pandemic, everything was just filmed via Zoom, the storytelling was unique and the characters are so lovable and endearing. The background music was also amazing and helped give a dramatic touch to every scene. Fourth on my list would be Sotus and Sotus S. This is my very first BL, as I said earlier, so I didn't really have a lot of expectations, but by the time I was done with the first episode, I was completely hooked. I'm so happy that Sotus is my very first BL because even without the hot scenes, as I said earlier, it can still compete with a lot of BLs even up to today. The story, direction, and characters are so lovable, and it will always be among my favorite essential BLs that I would recommend for those that are starting with BLs. And last but not the least, in my favorites list would be Tarn Type. This is one of my favorites because I appreciate the mix of drama, conflict, and sizzling scenes. It was never boring and it made me crave lots of Wanjai videos on YouTube. For me, it was written well and the cast was amazing. And this is another one of my most favorite BLs of all time. So there you have it, Tita Josie. Those are my top 5 favorite BLs.
Oh my God, I love your list, Tito Miles. And I think that we have a different set of 5 that we have. So hopefully the people who love these series will appreciate the fact that we have differences in terms of our preferences as well. And again, as we mentioned at the beginning, these are just our favorites or personal preferences.
Yes.
We would love for you to share your list if your favorite series is not one of the ones that we have mentioned.
Exactly, Tita Josie. And let me just repeat what we said in the beginning that our favorites list rather is actually coming from those BLs that were shown from 2020 and earlier. So don't be surprised, guys, why, the perennial favorites didn't make it to our favorites because we will be sharing our list towards the end of 2021 for the series that were released this year.
Absolutely. So without further ado, my top 5 favorite series for our first anniversary special are, starting with Cherry Magic. I remember when Cherry Magic came out at the end of last year that every time I watched an episode, I would be yelling and screaming at my laptop. And in fact, it was the first series that I had watched on my own since the time that Tito, Miles, and I started reacting together. And it was when I watched the series that I began to think that I had a problem and that, maybe I should reevaluate my life choices, because even if we were not reacting to this, I was still talking, I was still shouting, I was doing all of the things that Tito, Miles, and I would do whenever we reacted to a video. And that is how much I love Cherry Magic. I love all of the characters. I love Adachi, I love Kurosawa, even Tsuge and Minato, and their stories and their way of coming together. And Cherry Magic will forever have a special place in my heart because it is my absolute favorite Japanese BL that I have watched. Second is Gaia sa Pelikula. Unfortunately, in the past few weeks and in the past few months, there has been a shadow that has been cast over Gaia sa Pelikula because of the issues surrounding the writer. However, I don't think that should take away from everything that Gaia sa Pelikula was able to bring to light within the LGBTQ plus community. This series is absolutely timeless. The director, as well as the cast and the crew, put a lot of effort into making sure that the LGBTQ plus community was effectively portrayed in media. And I love the series on a personal note because of everything that it gave Tito, Miles, and myself when we were first starting off our channel. In fact, a lot of our early subscribers came through Gaia sa Pelikula. I love the music, I love the cinematography, I love everything about this series, and in spite of the backlash that it has received recently, it will never take away from the fact that this series has a special place in my heart. Third is He's Coming to Me. I love supernatural themes in BL series because, as some of you might know, I'm kind of a supernatural person myself. And there was plenty of mystery, plenty of suspense, and of course, my favorite heavy, heavy drama in He's Coming to Me. I love the way that Singto and Om portrayed their characters. Ohm in particular was amazing, even though I didn't add him to my list of top 5 favorite actors. If I could make my list a top 10, he could definitely be part of that list. And this series really had a lot of special moments. That ending where Ohm's character was so distraught because he thought that Singto's character would be gone from him forever, that really, really broke my heart. And I was so happy that in the end, they still got a happy ending. Next is I Told Sunset About You. If you have been watching Tito Miles and my reactions over the past few months, you know that in practically every series that we react to or that we have been reacting to for the past few months, I kind of make it a point to mention that I Told Sunset About You is my favorite series. I am unable to watch any episode of this series without crying, and it is probably the only series that I watch or that I have watched where if anybody says anything critical or negative about it, I just close my ears and I pretend that I'm not hearing anything, because that is how much I love I Told Sunset About You. Last but not the least is Until We Meet Again. Just like He's Coming to Me, Until We Meet Again, it deals with the supernatural themes, particularly with the theme of reincarnation. As you may know, if you watched our reactions to Until We Meet Again, I do actually do past life regressions as well. And I really love the fact that Until We Meet Again showed and portrayed the themes of reincarnation, not only in a positive light, but actually in a very accurate light as well, too. This series had a good mix of lighthearted and heavy subject matters, right? And that's not easy for a series to do. And ultimately, what really makes me love Until We Meet Again is, aside from being one of the best representatives of the BL genre, I really, really think that it is a series that shows us the importance of family. And that is why I love Until We Meet Again. And Tito Miles, those are my top 5 favorite series for our first anniversary episode.
Yay! I love the list. Of course, those series actually made it to my top 10 as well, or top 15.
Yes.
There's just so many series to choose from, Tita Josie.
Absolutely.
And once again, let me just mention that this is more of a personal preference.
Yes.
And it's not influenced by anything else but our own decisions. So I love your list. Wow.
Thank you. Yes. And oh my God, Tito Miles, this is the moment that I think the both of us have been waiting for. And of course, anybody who has been watching this episode has been waiting for. It is time for the both of us to announce our favorite series for our first anniversary awards. So are you ready to announce what your favorite series is, Tito Miles?
Very much. I'm so excited to share it with you guys. And without further ado, Tito Miles' favorite series for our very first anniversary awards is Sotus and Sotus S.
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tito Miles, you picked the OG BL series.
I know, right? So it's like First Love Never Dies, you know? The first time I watched Sotus, I was so amazed, and it made me realize that there's so much BL content out there that I would love to explore, which is why I ended up reacting with you as well, you know?
Yes.
So I wanna thank and recognize Sotus for the kind of impact that it had made on me, as well as I guess the people who are just starting out watching BLs and they came across Sotus and they fell in love with the story. There's a lot to learn from Sotus, Tita Josie. So setting aside the physical stuff, like the kissing and the sex, I think in itself, Sotus, the kind of story that it gives us and the way that it represents the community is so ideal you know what, until today I'm actually still wishing for a season 3 or something, or some kind of a reunion for Sotus. So that's why it is my favorite series for 2020 and earlier. Congratulations, Sotus and Sotus S. Now, what about you, Tita Josie? Should I be surprised? Let me hear your favorite series.
So even though this comes as no surprise to anyone, Tita Josie's favorite series for our first anniversary awards is I Told Sunset About You. Yeah, I think that's a little bit anticlimactic, Tito Miles, because I've been telling everybody it's been my favorite series since we started reacting to I Told Sunset
Yeah.
About You earlier this year, right, Tito Miles? We started
Indeed.
reacting to it in preparation for us to react to I Promised You the Moon. So I just simply think that I Told Sunset About You is a masterpiece. Everything about it, from the acting, the cinematography, the script writing, the way that they put the series together, its portrayal of how people find themselves or how young LGBTQ plus people find themselves and find their place in the world was just simply without parallel. There is no other series that I have ever watched where I will not accept any negative feedback, where I will not accept any criticism. You can say the criticism if you want, but I'll be going la 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 la. And I just simply will not listen to it because that is how much I love I Told Sunset About You.
Absolutely. So it's not a surprise to be Tita Josie, considering how you speak of I Told Sunset About You. Like when we were.
Incessantly, Tito
Yeah, and
Miles.
even before we started reacting to it in preparation for I Promised You the Moon, I could really tell that this is really one of your most favorite series. And
It is
that's
the
amazing. Yes.
favorite.
That is, they deserve it. Absolutely. And I think everyone is also in love with I Told Sunset About You. And it's also in my top 10 best
Yes.
series of all time so far. So congratulations to our winners. So
Yes!
and I Told Sunset About You. So that has been our favorites for our first anniversary awards, Tita Josie. And
Yes.
we hope that everyone watching enjoyed this special episode. And we hope that you share your favorites with us either by posting in the comments or by creating your own video and tagging us so that we can also take a look at your favorites.
Absolutely. And just like we mentioned at the beginning, Tito Miles, I really, really want to thank everyone from the bottom of our hearts for not only watching our reactions, not only for subscribing to us, not only for sharing our videos as well, but just simply supporting us as we go through our journey as BL reactors, right? Because it's not easy to do. It takes up a lot of time for both of us, Tito Miles. And the fact that people really spend time out of their busy schedules, not only to watch our reactions, but even just to write the comments that they write. As I mentioned, sometimes they feel like more than comments, they feel like actual essays.
Yes.
Like they feel like doctoral dissertations sometimes with how long they are. The fact that you spend time doing that really, really means a lot to you and I, right, Tito Miles?
Indeed. So from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you and we want to see you in our journey. Please continue to support us. And Tita Josie and I will strive to provide good content, good reactions for you guys as we approach, our first anniversary. Or actually, we're filming this for our first anniversary. So thank you once again, everyone, for all of your support along the way.
Absolutely. Anything else that you want to add, Tito Miles, before we wrap up this special episode?
Well, I guess the only thing that I wanted to say is happy anniversary, friend.
Happy anniversary! We
Congratulations
did.
to Tito Miles and Tita Josie.
Yes, absolutely. So thanks everybody for watching this first anniversary award special, and we will catch you in the next one. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.